Hello, this is OpenEcoMaps, a website that pulls information out of OpenStreetMap and displays it with nice icons in layers. All of the information here is added to OpenStreetMap by volunteers like you. The location, information about it, who operates it, links to their websites, and more. To edit, all you have to do is zoom right in to the very highest level. You'll notice that this Edit Here link changes to be bold, not italic. That means it's now active. Press Edit, and it'll load up the editor. Once you're into the editor, you'll notice that in the background it should have the aerial imagery, which is helpful to be able to find things. It'll say loading data at first, just while it downloads the data from OpenStreetMap. Now you can see that data is loaded, and the map you can now see is actually all the data in OpenStreetMap. And as you wave your mouse over things, it'll go sort of bright yellow as if to select it. So if I come down this way and I select the market, then you can see here, I'll just make this a bit bigger since I've got a very small window. It now has the information about the market on the left here in a panel. If I click away once, it goes back to this list. So let's just select the market again. You can see here that it has the name and then some of the information here about what's sold in the market, which I've already added before. If you change any of these, then you're editing the information that's in OpenStreetMap, and within an hour or two it will also appear on OpenEcoMaps. If you go over other features that are nothing to do with the sorts of things that might be what we want to put on OpenEcoMaps, you can just look at roads, or, well, restaurant you might want to change, roads, footpaths, tower masts, and so on. Now, in order to change the information on something, it's really as simple as just selecting that and then adding further information. So, let's add here that local products are sold. Some products, not all, because not everything here is local. Same on organic, not everything is organic, but most of it is. I don't know about fair trade, so I'll leave that for the moment. When you're done, you can just click Save at the top left here, and then add a comment saying, adding information about goods sold on the market, and click Save. And it's as simple as that. Within an hour or two, that information will now be added to OpenEcoMaps, and it's already gone live into the OpenStreetMap database. You could also add similar information to anything else on here. So you could add about a baker, you could potentially, let's see, move over here to a solar panel. This is a bit more complicated, so you can add information, I don't know, it might have a name, but you could describe it if you had any more information about this, how it's generated, so it's photovoltaic, and who operates it, which might just be the householder, but it could be a company or perhaps a local community energy company. And you can add things like the electrical and hot water ratings. So we just say yes, where we just to indicate that it does put out electricity, or if you knew the precise amount, then you could put it in. So if it were a 100 kilowatt panel, then you could just type in 100 kilowatts. I'm just going to leave that a yes for the moment, because I don't know what it is. If you do change something, like if I were just to change this to thermal panels, and then you don't remember quite what you've done, or you don't want it, you can just click Undo up here. In order to move around this map, you just put the mouse somewhere where there's no object. So if you do it there, it's no good because it's going to change this. Put it somewhere else, click and hold the mouse, and drag, and you can move your way around. If you were to do it while selecting something, well, first it would select it, and then the second time you'd end up moving that object, which isn't much good because we don't want to move this building far away from the road where it belongs. You can also see, before you start editing, let's just stop that you've got this whole list of things on the left here. This enables you to add more features. And some features in OpenEcoMaps or in OpenStreetMap are just points. So for example, this solar panel or this cycle parking. In order to add something that's just a point, you just select the thing you want here and drag it over. So if we were to put, say, a bicycle rental, you just drag the icon over to where you want it drop it, and then you can add the further information here. If you want to undo it, you can either go back to undo or just click delete. You can do that with any of these features, and you can similarly take something's already there and you can delete it or move it around to the right location. Some things though, you want to describe the whole shape, not just to say that it's a point there, but that actually there's an area. So for example, a growing space, or a building, or you can see here all of these shops are added as buildings. In order to add a new one, just start drawing it. So if we imagine these trees here are actually a community growing space, then you just click and click. Just keep clicking until you've got the shape that you want. Let's pretend it's a weird shape. And then you go over here and click on the dot you started with. That didn't work. There you go. The icon will change from a little cross next to the pointer to a little circle. Click on that and it completes it. Now you can select what sort of thing this is. So you can go into here. You want to go into, is it in food and drink? It is. Community food growing, and then you can add the information. By doing this, you can simply add all the information you want to OpenEcoMaps. If you think that you've made a complete mess and you have got into a bit of a tangle, you can always just click undo, or you can just close it and start again, and all your changes will be lost. They won't be kept at all. The other things, just to quickly show you here, you can change the background at the top here. So it's currently the aerial imagery from Bing. You can also switch it over to, for example, these Ordnance Survey OpenMaps, which gives you a slightly different background, which you might find helpful. And you can change the map style between the OpenEcoMaps one, the default OpenStreetMap, which will lose the custom information that we've added for renewable energy generators and so on. There's a cycling style if you want to be making changes that are particular to cyclists, so you can see the cycling routes are highlighted here. And there's also wireframe, which simply shows everything as black outlines. Finally, there is a help dialog here where you can get further information on how to use it, read through these different areas in order to get the gist of what you're trying to do. And you can go to options if you want, and you can play around with these. Make sure that, remember, whenever you've made any changes, that you have to click save. And that's all. Thanks very much, and enjoy editing OpenEcoMaps.